You are listening to Mining Stock Education, where you'll learn from the top leaders in the natural resource sector and uncover quality mining investment opportunities.
Really just confirmed our hypothesis that this resource remains open. And this step was 150 meters out along strike, 315 meters down plunge from existing blocks in the resource. It's further confirmation of the 450 zone, which makes up over 75% of the resource, remains open. This stratigraphic position is where we've been testing out at the Hinge and having a lot of success as well. So now we've opened up nearly 900 meters of strike length on the deposit here. So really exciting. And 45 grams over a meter, yeah, it's narrow, but we can dilute that to mineable widths. What it tells us is that there's high enough grade to go out there and keep plugging away as we go.
Welcome back to Mining Stock Education. In today's episode, we're getting an update from our sponsor, Fury Gold Mines. Website is furygoldmines.com, and ticker symbol is super simple, FURY, in Toronto or in the States on the big boards. Chatting today with the CEO, Tim Clark, as well as the SVP of Exploration, Brian Atkinson. Gentlemen, welcome back onto the show. And Tim, I'll kick it over to you. Could you provide us kind of a high-level overview of what the company has been accomplishing the last couple of months since we last spoke?
Sure, Bill. Well, we sound a little like a broken record because we just keep, moving forward and checking off the things that we've already shared with investors. But, it's important to remember that in this market, a lot of the companies aren't able to move or invest or drill. And we've been able to really navigate some of the things to put us in a financial position of strength. Right now, we sit at $11 million in the bank. We sold some Dolly shares beginning in the fall. We felt that it was important to create an opportunity for us to be self-financed going forward for the next year. And we had an opportunity to bring in a large U.S. institutional investor for them, and I think it was a benefit to all of us. The Dolly stock moved up as a result of removing some of that overhang. Our share value for there is at 42 million Canadian. Our personal market cap is at 67. So if you do the math, you get all of what we have right now for $14 to $15 million Canadian, which includes Committee Bay, the joint venture with Newmont, and also Lac Clarkie, which is a huge exploration platform for us that we've done a lot of work on this past summer. And then obviously Eau Claire, which we're continuing to move the needle and getting more results. We just came out with the gap, and I'll let Brian talk about that. But we still have 11 holes pending, including Percival, which is one of the areas we're really excited to see. Look, this market's punished everybody, and it's not been kind unless you have these pie in the sky kind of results. But we're doing what we told everybody a year ago. We're running a business, and we're planning ahead. We're being thoughtful about how we invest. We're trying to present investors with an opportunity to buy into a company that has multiple ways to win. And we can talk a little more about the specifics with Brian here after that, Bill.
And I think, Tim, you put more meters in the ground this year than you even told the market at the outset, didn't you?
Yep. We were looking at 15,000 and now we got 18,000 meters. And it came in under budget for what we were actually looking to do. And results have been slow with the assays, as we've all known. But, therein lies the opportunity for investors to think about this at the end of the year. Here's a company that's well-financed for all of next year, still have pending results coming out, and we've got a joint venture that's cleaned up that we really want to go after with Newmont. And we do have some greenfields type exploration we've done a bunch of surveys out in Lac Clarkie. It's a big property for us. It's real exploration, and that's what we're focused on trying to be, is a great exploration company, and we're doing it.
Brian, you're in charge of the geological team. So you released some results in the gap zone, which is between two areas of known mineralization at the Eau Claire project. What is the significance of these results?
Yeah, so what it's really done, Bill, is really just confirmed our hypothesis that this resource remains open. And this step was 150 meters out along strike, 315 meters down plunge from existing blocks in the resource. It's further confirmation of the 450 zone, which makes up over 75% of the resource, remains open. This stratigraphic position is where we've been testing out at the Hinge and having a lot of success as well. So now we've opened up nearly 900 meters of strike length on the deposit here. So really exciting. And 45 grams over a meter, yeah, it's narrow, but we can dilute that to mineable widths. What it tells us is that there's high enough grade to go out there and keep plugging away as we go.
At the beginning of the year, I think you said the goal would be to define a pathway to 2 million ounces at Eau Claire. So how are we doing on that goal?
Well, I think when you look at the Hinge, we've extended mineralization over 450 meters that way. We've got this 150 meter step out this way in the gap zone, and then that's opened up another 450 meters of strike. So now we've got over 900 meters of strike length wide open to us exploring. It's open down dip. And then we've also, drilled out on the eastern side as well. So I think that pathway is becoming a lot more clear for us as we move forward here.
And then you have other targets. Could we be looking at kind of a string of pearls with this project? What can you conceptually see it going towards?
Oh, definitely. When you look at a greenstone belt anywhere in the world, there's never only one deposit, one mine on it. So that's been our premise exploring up in Committee Bay with the Three Bluffs resource there. That there's got to be something else there. And same down here in the in the East Main Greenstone Belt. We've got Eau Claire. We're seeing good mineralization out at Snake Lake. We want to get back out there. We're still waiting on some results at Percival, 14 kilometers away. And then, as Tim mentioned, we've got the Lac Clarkie land package directly adjacent to Eau Claire. We did 3,000 soils out there waiting for the results from that, and that's really going to help us target out that way. So that's all along the same sort of deformation zone, east-west there from Eau Claire.
So is Lac Clarkie part of the big upside for early of next year then? Is that the goal here?
Definitely, yeah. We collected some really tight soils over top of areas where we like geophysically and geologically. Really sort of interesting zones, even some areas where our geophysical interpreter, she said, this is so complex, I don't even know what to draw here. I just recommend you go check it out, right? So these are part of those 14 targets that we've been talking about on the Eau Claire block for the last year. So we've just trying to advance some of them through the pipeline and, get some excitement. Eau Claire is nice and exciting. It's holding well for us, but making a new discovery will, certainly help out as well.
Tim, as you referenced in your initial, what you shared, you've been able to move when other exploration companies haven't been able to move and do much this year. That's because you've been able to raise money. You've raised from transactions, the corporate side, the institutional side. So what is your idea, though, or your perspective on flow-through money? Because you are in Quebec where flow-through money is available. Is that an option for the company?
And look, flow-through money is a real leverageable item. It's great. But, you just don't want to do it if you don't need it at a low share price. So my hesitancy to do any flow right now is just all related to share price. And I think we're giving our company away at this value. So, the good news is we have enough in the bank that we can be thoughtful about when we do it. And I've said this before to investors. You just want to be smart with what you've got in front of you, and maybe we end up doing some flow next year, maybe we don't. But I don't want to be in the position of desperation the way some of these other companies are, and that's when you make mistakes. That's when you make bad decisions. And we've turned this company around. A year ago, we were not in this position. We are in a completely different mental state in terms about what we want to do and target. I think there's going to be opportunities out there for a lot of companies. There's going to be a lot of shakeup going forward. And what we want to do is we want to be a bigger company over time and work with some of the investors that we've worked with, which includes the Newmonts and the other companies that have invested in us. So we've got a great support system in that, and that's what we're going to lean into. And I think this next year is going to be an exciting year.
And are you waiting to get the pending assays back from your current drill core before you let us know what you're doing next year in terms of drilling?
So there's always this question about what's your plan. And my view to our investors and to the board is, we need to see what we have before we define anything. We're going to be drilling. That's what we do. It's just about how much. And and there's opportunities out there. Who knows? Maybe there's a joint venture. Who knows? Maybe there's something where we see something unique that we want to buy. Maybe something we want to sell. And I'm not trying to precursor anything that we're going to do, but my point is we're going to block and tackle, and we're waiting for results. We have 11 holes pending, including Percival, which is a big one for us. And we're in a position of strength heading into the next year. And we're doing the due diligence that as an investor, you'd love us to do. And we're trying to, measure twice and cut once. And we're also thinking about big picture about this market. It's a unique time where some of these bigger companies are going to be shedding some assets, and it's going to flow all the way down to our end. And so we're trying to find other companies and that are interesting to us that, who knows, maybe they want to work with us. And that's how you build a business, Bill. And that's why, if I was looking at a company, why I would look at this company, Fury. We're not just sitting on Eau Claire, banging in drill holes, and then coming back and wanting to do it all over again without a thought. We're looking to be a bigger, better place and create opportunity and create value. And right now, the market has not rewarded us. They have not given us the share price for what I think we have value in our Eau Claire and our other assets. It is interesting to see in this time of market, but again, that's why investors should be stepping in looking at this. It's a well-run company that's undervalued.
Tim, you mentioned previously that you have $42 million market value of Dolly Barton shares. Does that come off progressively? If you could remind me your ability to sell that if you wanted to monetize it?
Yeah, so we could sell in February, and I think investors were some of them were starting to game the fact that we might be selling in February. And when we had the chance to sell some up front, it made a lot of sense to me because it just took that question mark away.
And you put it in strong hands, we should know too, right? You didn't flood the market.
No, we put it in as strong a hands as you could ask for. Dolly should be really thrilled, and investors of Dolly should be thrilled with who got it. And we, as I said, we're still the largest investor in Dolly. We have 26% of the company. I don't see any need to sell it at this point. We're financed, and but again, it's all about creating opportunity that things come around, and we'll see what the market gives us, and we'll see what the results give us. And I think, as I said, we're poised to do really well next year.
And Brian, as we conclude, when should we expect those assays? Over the next 2 months, they should all be given to the market?
Yeah, I would say within the next month. We got a few weeks here before Christmas, and we're going to try to get, if the labs do what they're supposed to, try to get them mostly out before that. And then, maybe some of the Lac Clarkie soils and the Geochem from the Eleanor South joint venture come out in the new year. So yeah, the next month or two for sure.
Yeah, and then Bill, just to mention, one of the things I think investors are overlooking is this joint venture with Newmont. I think there's a lot of potential upside in that property. They're excited to drill it, and so are we. I don't know, Brian, any quick comments on that?
Yeah, we've really last year's work tightened up the big, massive soil anomaly, which is the best one we've got in our portfolio. We've tightened it up to, 9 discrete targets that we can go out there and actually follow up. So this year, that's what we did. So we should be ready to drill, a selection of those, the cream of the crop of those, come the spring in 2023.
And Bill, just a reminder, we split that cost with Newmont. So those are the best drill holes to make is when you're paying for half.
And you're the operator, right?
We are the operator.
Right. Exactly. All right. Well, the company's website is furygoldmines.com. Ticker symbol again, FURY in Canada or the States. Gentlemen, thank you for providing this update today.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Good to see you.